An Indian neo-noir should be right up my alley. Should be. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and Ishqiya is a 2010 Hindi language black comedy, drama, thriller. It was the directorial debut by Abhishek Chaubey, whose Uttar Punjab was one of the first Indian movies that I have reviewed on the channel, and who in my opinion directed the best episode in the recent Netflix anthology series Drei. Chaubey has worked as an associate director on the films Matbul and Omkara, and the director of those two movies, Vishal Bhardwaj, is also the one who co-produced and co-wrote Ishqiya, and he has also composed the soundtrack with lyrics by Gulzar. Ishqiya, which can be translated as passionate, tells the story of two petty criminals, Kalu Jan, played by the great Naseeruddin Shah, and his nephew Baban, played by the wonderful Arshad Vasi, who I just saw for the first time in Munabai MBBS, in which his charisma and comedic chops were absolutely fantastic. They are both on the run from their former boss, who is also a family member, but that doesn't save them from him wanting to bury both of them alive because they owe him money. Luckily, they find shelter with the young widowed woman Krishna, played by Vidya Balan. But Krishna is no ordinary widow who just takes them into her house. She herself is entangled with the crime world, as we have learned in the very first scene. And as the movie progresses, we find out that she has her own plans with the two men. One could say that Ishqiya is also a little love triangle, with Krishna seducing both friends. But it's definitely not your typical ordinary romance. Krishna is a very mysterious character, and Vidya Balan gives a great performance. As a matter of fact, all three leads are pretty fantastic, and they do elevate the movie quite a bit. Naseeruddin Shah has become one of my favorite actors in Indian cinema, and pairing him with Arshad Vasi makes for an interesting buddy dynamic. On paper, Ishqiya is right up my alley. It is set in Uttar Pradesh and it has this hot and dusty look that works really well with the story about outlaws and their attempt to survive or even find some happiness. The story, characters and the tone of the movie seem to be at home in the neo-noir genre. A story about shady, damaged characters, a possible femme fatale, psychological tension, some eroticism, some violence, and a mysterious plot that has its fair number of twists and turns. Something like this normally totally speaks to me. It felt a little bit like a light version of Quentin Tarantino at times, with its strong female protagonist, the dark humored crime setting, and the different layers to the actual story. But for some reason, Ishqiya falls in a category of movies that I really wanted to laugh, but couldn't quite. And I'm not even completely sure why that is. It's one of those movies for me that was missing something, a certain spark that just wasn't there. I think it lacks energy and dramatic effect. It takes quite a while until the story shifts into the next gear. The pacing in the whole first half is really slow and it feels as if there's not enough direction to the story, which could be fine if the scenes themselves, the relationships between the characters and their dynamic were exciting and tense enough. But I don't think they are. Like I said, all three actors are very good, but I still didn't find the characters all that engaging. And an aspect that somehow didn't land for me at all is the humor. Now of course this isn't a movie that's super funny or hilarious, but it certainly aimed to have elements of a black comedy as well, and I don't think I laughed once. Of course, this could be something that was a little bit lost in translation, as I was of course dependent on the subtitles. With this one, I really don't have much to say. I don't want to sound like someone who needs big emotions and loud dramatic moments, but somehow this just lacked energy and tension for me. The first half is just too slow and the movie overall not explosive enough. Not in its story, nor its characters or execution. That doesn't mean that it's a bad film, certainly not. It's alright, it has its merits. A good setting and atmosphere, some nice songs, great performances, and it's certainly different in its approach. But there was just something missing for me. So in German I'd say: Ishqiya ist ein interessanter indischer Neo-Noir mit drei großartigen Schauspielern in den Hauptrollen. Leider hat er bei mir aber nie so ganz gezündet und mich doch eher gleichgültig zurückgelassen. I give Ishqiya 6 out of 10. It's more like 6.3, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it. Like always, comment below and let me know what you think about Ishqiya. And also let me know what is your favorite film with Vidya Balan. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Letterboxd, and also on Patreon, simply at the Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.